Chapter 10 of Sowing and Reaping by Francis C. W. Harper. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Chapter 10. Mary Goff. "I think," said Paul Clifford to Miss Gordon, "that I have found just the person that will suit you, and if you accept, I will be pleased to see you safe home." Belle thanked the young grocer, and gratefully accepted his company. Belle returned the next day to see her protégée, and found her getting along comfortably, although she could not help seeing it was sorrow more than disease that was sapping her life, and drying up the feeble streams of existence. "How do you feel this morning?" said Belle, laying her hand tenderly upon her forehead. "Better, much better," she replied, with an attempt at cheerfulness in her voice. "I'm so glad that Mother Graham is here. It is like letting the sunshine into these gloomy rooms to have her around. It all seems like a dream to me. I remember carrying a large bundle of work to the store, that my employer spoke harshly to me and talked of cutting down my wages. I also remember turning into the street, my eyes almost blinded with tears, and that I felt a dizziness in my head. The next I remember was seeing a lady feeding my children, and a gentleman coming in with Auntie Graham." "Yes," said Belle. "Fortunately, after I had seen you, I met with Mr. Clifford, who rendered me every necessary assistance. His presence was very opportune." Just then Belle turned her eyes toward the door, and saw Mr. Clifford standing on the threshold. "Ah," said he, smiling and advancing. This time the old adage has failed, which says that listeners never hear any good of themselves, for without intending to act the part of an eavesdropper, I heard myself pleasantly complimented. "No more than you deserve," said Belle, smiling and blushing as she gave him her hand in a very frank and pleasant manner. "Mrs. Goff is much better this morning, and is very grateful to you for your kindness." "Mine," said Mr. Clifford, "if you will call it so, was only the result of an accident. Still, I am very glad if I have been of any service, and you are perfectly welcome to make demands upon me that will add to Mrs. Goff's comfort." "Thank you. I am very glad she has found a friend in you. It is such a blessed privilege to be able to help others less fortunate than ourselves." "It certainly is." "Just a moment," said Belle, as the voice of Mrs. Goff fell faintly on her ear. "What is it, dear?" said Belle, bending down to catch her words. "Who is that gentleman? His face and voice seem familiar." "It is Mr. Clifford." "Paul Clifford?" "Yes. Do you know him?" "Yes, I knew him years ago when I was young and happy, but it seems an age since. Oh, isn't it a dreadful thing to be a drunkard's wife?" "Yes, it is. But would you like to speak to Mr. Clifford?" "Yes, ma'am, I would." "Mr. Clifford," said Belle, "Mrs. Goff would like to speak with you." "Do you not know me?" said Mary, looking anxiously into his face. "I recognized you as soon as you moved into the neighborhood." "I'm very glad. I feared that I was so changed that my own dear mother would hardly recognize me. Don't you think she would pity and forgive me if she saw what a mournful wretch I am?" "Yes, I think she has long forgiven you, and longs to take you to her heart as warmly as she ever did." "And my father?" "I believe he would receive you, but I don't think he would be willing to recognize your husband. You know he is very set in his ways. Mr. Clifford, I feel that my days are numbered, and that my span of life will soon be done. But while I live, I feel it my duty to cling to my demented husband, and to do all I can to turn him from the error of his ways. But I do so wish that my poor children could have my mother's care when I am gone. If I were satisfied on that score, I would die content." "Do not talk of dying," said Belle, taking the pale, thin hand in hers. "You must try and live for your children's sake. When you get strong, I think I can find you some work among my friends. There's Mrs. Roberts. She often gives out work, and I think I will apply to her." "Mrs. James Roberts, on St. James Street, near 16th?" "Yes. Do you know her?" "Yes," said Mrs. Goff, closing her eyes wearily. "I know her, and have worked for her. I think she is an excellent woman. I remember one morning we were
Sample complete. Ready to continue?